Hi guys, this is Kicker22004. Today I'm going to be doing something a little differently. We're going to be working with the Raspberry Pi 3 and the Odroid Xu4. A friend, Kryptic Nexus, I'll put a link down below, is allowing me to use his Raspberry Pi 3 through SSH, and I kind of want to see how they compare doing a Minecraft server. Now, that just because we're doing a Minecraft server doesn't mean it can't do anything else. I just kind of want to see the speeds. Now, to be completely transparent, the Raspberry Pi is on a SD Class 10 card, where the Odroid is running a cheap SSD. In fact, it's this one right here. It's a 30 gig. So yes, I expect faster speeds, but that's a fair comparison. The Odroid has USB 3.0. When I was looking for videos, I couldn't find any. So expect a little bit of a stack win as far as read and writes possibly. But overall, I want to see how they compare running a Minecraft server, and so let's begin. Raspberry Pi is on the left, okay? It's kind of hard to show the Odroid, at least Raspberry Pi is running Diet Pi, but I brought this up so we can see the two. The Odroid is running 8-core, if I could spell maybe here, and here we have the Raspberry Pi running a 4. Also, if we look at top, we can see the differences as well. But let's resize this actually. We'll get into the speeds and see the read rates right off the bat before we get too far. So in order to do this, we're going to have to, let's get this here. I'm on SDA, obviously, because the USB. However, on this one, which I know I don't need sudo, but that's okay, we've got to pull the SD card. So this would be your read speeds, which could take just a second. And there we go. Considerable speed there, actually. 13 megs to 81 megs. But that's expected. We're dealing with SSD versus SD card. You can use a full-size SSD, and I'm sure you get better speeds. I'm thinking like Samsung 8 or 850, I think is what they are. And that'd probably fly, but this is just what I had at the time, so I put in it. And let's go ahead and do a write speed test. And this is interesting. The write speed is actually faster for some reason on the Raspberry Pi, and I'm not sure why. But hey, maybe if you guys have a comment on this, throw it down below, or maybe a different test, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Definitely let me know down below. This is just the way I know to do it, and the way I've found and researched on how to do it. So, let's get right into what we're going to do. We're going to be using my BSCC, which again, I'm still looking for names. And the Odroid is actually running this site as well, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it pop up, but when I open things, yeah, you can see it pop up there for a second. So, little bit of an unfair advantage, but it really shouldn't matter. I'm not going to be browsing the site, not going to be doing anything, so it shouldn't change anything we're doing here. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this, which is, I've already went ahead and downloaded my GitHub, so we don't gotta wait for that. And I've already went ahead and put in Java, because it's just more time sitting around. Make this video as fast as we can. They're running the exact same Java build because it was put in by my script, and that's the version it pulls. So, let's go from there, and actually, you know what? I'm going to use the top screens to show performance as it goes. That's interesting. And let's see if it'll settle here. Oh, I have a screen running over here. Okay. Alright, so I didn't see we had a greeting screen. That's actually part of BSCC, and when it can't see everything there, it kind of throws a fit. What I mean by that is I went ahead and removed everything in here to where it's not actually there. And that's just, yes, it's the only version we have. That way we're doing a clean install. So there's no yes or, you know, maybe, whatever. And let me just make sure that it's the only thing in there. Okay, so let's get down into this. not waste any time here. Good old whiptail. You never know what color you're going to end up with, and I brought this up in my previous videos. So I'll try to do these as quick as I can, and we'll see how they perform. My Odroid has been running for quite some time, and I do expect it to be faster. That's a given. But performance for price. Some people would like to know. That was surprisingly not that fast. So let's get into getting a server up. And for the sake of it, I personally use Spygot on ARMS. They're just faster in my opinion, and they're easier on it. So for this, we're going to choose 192. I know it's still, maybe I should choose something that's a little more stable. It's fine. We'll just go with it and see what happens. It's going to download now. My net speed and his net speeds can be different, so don't mind this. Yeah, 512. We've got enough RAM over here on the Raspberry. We'll go ahead and do it. Interestingly enough, the Odroid is using more RAM, but again, it's hosting the site, so. Oop. That was an interesting delay on the Raspberry Pi. So I couldn't really match these two up. Sorry about that. So, $35 for the Raspberry Pi, $74 for the Odroid Xu4, which is the version I have. I like the Odroid, but I have to say that if you're going to buy it, buy the cloud shell. And it's just a little plastic shell that it goes in. Main reason being is the PCB board is very thin on the Odroid compared to the Raspberry Pi, where you're not worried about cracking it or flexing it. The Odroid, that's a big problem for me, but if it's in the cloud shell, it's mounted, it's not moving anywhere. And I've had no issues with it. Some people have complained, and apparently the warranty on it is very small, like a month or something. Don't quote me on that, but if you're worried about that, then definitely, maybe don't look into it. But for performance, I do believe it's the faster of the two. That showed just a quick load between the two. And now we'll actually try to load it. We gotta get into the menu this time, so. And here we go. So, get them both down to start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start them and then go into the screen which they're running in so we can actually watch it run. And let's get these. Okay, you can see stuff happening up in the top screen. And they're both loading. Perfect. Yeah, see, I kind of figured that. So, again, Odroid's great. I think it's faster than the Raspberry Pi. I don't have a Raspberry Pi 3, although I have a 2 and a 1. And I used to host servers. In fact, I did some videos on MineOS, which I might do another MineOS on the Odroid to see how it does. However, they switched to Node, and I had some issues with my Qbox from Solid Run and my Hummingbird. So I'm not really sure. Maybe they've fixed it by now. It wasn't really designed for ARM, but it is what it is. So we'll let these two build. The Odroid's a clear winner here. And if you have any suggestions, we're testing it against the Raspberry Pi 3 right now. If you have another board maybe, if you're willing to help out, we can definitely put together a test. This is just showing Minecraft speeds. I don't know how well it's going to do in the end, but it shows overall performance in my book. We stress out the CPU, usually only one core because Minecraft isn't very multi-threaded. But it still shows performance. So thermal throttling on the Odroid is a little touchy because the 8 cores kind of throttle. There's 4 bigger cores than the other 4. But with a good fan, you can limit that a little bit. I'm running a Noctua fan on it, which is the little small fan. I actually had to cut it to fit it in its heatsink spot, but it works great. Okay, the Raspberry Pi is finally kicking up, as you can see on the bottom left. And yeah, I'm going to pause this. I kind of don't want to pause it, but I don't want to make us wait here for this whole time. I'm pretty sure the Odroid's going to win by quite some margin, but we'll see. So I'm going to pause this real quick, and we'll come back to it when it's over, and we'll get the numbers. Okay, so Odroid's clearly pulling ahead on this one. It's already finished at 189 seconds, which if you're familiar with a standard machine, that's a long time. But it's not that long. I remember on the original Raspberry Pi when I was doing it way back, it was like 500 seconds. It was insane. And as time progressed, we ended up with a hard float Java, which really improved things. But we still had issues. So I'm kind of curious if these servers are going to be able to load up, move around fairly easily without caching anything. Because normally you would definitely want to cache the map and make it a fairly small map. And you would load everything up on a normal machine, dump it back onto the Raspberry Pi, and carry on about your day. Tell people try not to go out too far at once because it is a smaller processor. Or use SpyGot's world border, which is built in, and kind of make your map small to where people can't move around. Okay, so the Raspberry Pi finally got to an end. As you can see, it took 440 seconds to load versus the 189. So quite a bit of a difference. I've been sitting here waiting for a bit actually, and I want to point out that they were ran with the exact same command here. Don't know if you'll be able to see my mouse, but with 128, 512, and what version is it? They're the exact same. I'm trying to make this as transparent as it can be. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stop them both. I always like to stop them and restart because the first load is just the worst. Obviously it's building, generating, and all that stuff. And this one should be closing in a second. So definitely some speed differences, but again, to be expected. So let's restart these. This time I'm going to start them with the shortcut because we can. It's the same exact thing as doing it through the menu. It's just a quick launch is all it is. So we'll load them back up and see where they end up. Figured I'll let this run in real time here so we can see it. That's not bad. 18 seconds. We'll let the server calm down. I'm going to let the... Here goes the Raspberry Pi. Alright. I'm going to let it catch up, and I'm going to try to let them both settle. As you can see, the Odroid's 5 core is actually pegged. And it's going to rotate between cores. That's just how it works. But I'll let the map kind of just settle down and see where we end up. My Raspberry Pi is kind of catching up pretty quick. Maybe we'll just wait a minute here. Yeah, I think the Raspberry Pi would be a really good web server or something like that. Or a small Minecraft server. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But with just a few friends. The Odroid works really good for the forum. I haven't had a lot of people on it yet, so if you have any questions or anything, go there, put them down. It's bscc.servegame.com. I'll put a link in the description. I got forums for Odroid, Raspberry Pi, a chip if you're familiar with those, and normal server things for the BSCC-Edition thing. And if you have any questions about other programs that the Odroid might do that might work better on the Raspberry Pi, or you want to see the comparison to see if $35 is better than $74 plus an SSD, the price gets higher with the Odroid, definitely, because you can't hook up the SSD without the cloud shell box. You can, but that's the easiest way to do it. So you're looking at 39 plus 74 versus Raspberry Pi. So if you have something you want to test, definitely, I'm positive that Kryptic Nexus will allow me to use this device to test something else. So let's see. I'll wait for these to settle and we'll come right back. Okay, well that didn't take very long at all. So you can see a lot of the things the Odroid's running actually, the MySQL, which is for the forums. 24 tasks running on the Raspberry Pi. I gotta give them credit on that. That's like nothing. We're running 49 to 51 on the Odroid. So, but again, we got a faster drive, and I use it for a lot of things. So, let's go ahead and stress these things out and see which one gives up the fastest. Let's do Odroid. And now these aren't preloaded, none of that stuff. We should see me pop up on the bottom right down here, as I just did. Try to break some things. That's not bad. It's very usable. When I first did this with an old Raspberry Pi 1, oh, the problems we had. You break a block and obviously the huge block lag. This is actually really good, and I haven't even used my Odroid really for playing Minecraft yet. Kryptic Nexus and I were thinking about putting together a community server. If anybody would be interested in that, definitely let us know. We'll put one up. I'd probably use a SpyGot because it does work the best, and we can put in essentials, which would give people the teleports and stuff like that. That is really good. I have to give credit. That is really nice. Let's bounce on over to the Pi and see what it does. Should do pretty good. Technically, because Minecraft is not really multi-threaded, the core shouldn't be that big of a difference. The read-write speed may be a different story, though. And I think... Nah, that's not bad. Maybe I should get a shovel and try to do a little more than one block at a time on both of these guys. Because both the cores are great, the RAM's looking good. That's not bad. I think this is a very doable situation, whether it be 35 or a lot more. I'm sure more people would stress the device a lot more. This is just, I'm always in the middle of nowhere. Let me get a shovel on both these guys and come right back so I don't have an hour of video here for you guys. Okay, so just grab shovel. I'm going to log in really quick and I'm going to try to dig up some stuff. We'll see. And I guess I could have enchanted it, but you know what? On previous versions of Raspberry Pis, this would not have been something you would have done very easily. And I've done a lot of videos for MineOS and on how to put it on the Raspberry Pi because it's really nice to have that web UI, but I found that it kind of dragged these old, these smaller machines down, and it wasn't really built around the idea of ARM devices anyway. So I started with the BSCC just to have just a script-based program to make it as simple and as easy for anybody to run a Minecraft server. And as you can see, I mean, this is literally just threw up a server in no time at all. So that being said, I have to say, so far, this is going really well for the Raspberry Pi. We'll go to spectate because you can kind of fly faster here. I'm going to fly way over here and see where we hit the edge here. That's not bad at all. I don't go over the edge because I found before that would crash the server if you kind of hang out over it. I don't think it likes that very much. So I'm going to keep pushing along here until either A, the server shuts down, or we load something else up. And vanilla, which is actually SpyGot, but we'll say vanilla. Frame, that's really buggy. I really hate that. Oop. That's better. Oh. So I have to say, it's handling it a lot better than I really expected it to. I kind of expected it to crash. So, this is a fair comparison, and this is what I wanted to show. When I looked around on YouTube for things on the Odroid to see how it would stack up against other devices, including the Raspberry Pi 3, because of the price difference, I didn't find any. So I really had to go with kind of my gut and go, well, I want the better performance, so I'm going to go with that as far as the Odroid. And that's where I've ended. And let's try to fly back and see if it's loading at a reasonable pace here, considering this is pre-rendered already. I'm betting if I try to do something, I'm actually not going to be able to. Well, maybe not here. Let's go ahead and... Oh, yeah, so the server's not taking the commands right now. So we've locked it up. I'm not sure how long we've locked it up or if it is going to crash, but it's definitely not accepting any new commands yet. Oh, it just teleported me. Okay, so it didn't catch that I came over here at all. And now it just caught that I switched my game mode. Oh. And I'm betting it's not going to catch that I switched back. Okay, so a little bit of load problems there. But nobody's going to be going this fast, and so remember that. Whoa. Right. But I have to say, surprisingly, even with those jerks going that fast, this is very playable. Definitely would recommend this to somebody. And for the price on a regular, class 10 card, no problems. This can be an easy. I'm betting RAM is going to be your limiting factor here. But I'm still thinking you can run an easy 5-person server, no problems at all. So let's switch on over and see if we can do the same crash, or attempt a crash, I should say, on this. Of course, it's nighttime. It's always nighttime. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Oh, wait, you know what? I forgot I dug when I came in last time. I don't think it's going to like that log in, log out bit, so we're going to try it. It's handling it pretty well. So let's do the same thing. Alright, let's go up and let's pick a direction here. Which way do we want to go? Let's go this way. Speed it up. And I expect the SSD to do a little bit better job here, but it's also on the CPU because it's having to render these chunks. It's having to, build them, obviously. So the entire map isn't built all in one whack. It's keeping up pretty good. It'd still be faster than if you were running on the ground, so. I'll go over into the black a little here. Oh, did I finally catch up to it? Oh, there we go. And you can see on the top right of my screen, the CPU 8 is actually the one doing this work. Minecraft is terrible about splitting things up between cores. Okay, so I'm pretty sure... what was that, I think? Maybe, no, I guess it was just me. Yeah, I'm going over the black. There's what's happening. I'm pretty sure we're going to just keep on keeping on. So I'm going to go ahead and flip around and see what happens when I attempt to go back over already known information. Whoop, I think we made a world hole. It's not a fan of this. So it's the rotate back that causes the problems on both of these devices. I'll switch it to God mode and see. Yep, see, I just got ported back to the other side. It caught up. But I think it recovered a little bit faster, but that's to be expected. Wow, that's, yeah, this is much faster. So the clear winner here is obviously the Odroid, but we have the advantage of obviously more cores, more processing power. We're going to hit the edge. I've never loaded over here. It's just going to keep doing chunks by chunks. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop to the ground to our death. Oop. So again, it takes a second when you're loading those chunks out there. To be expected. Either one of these two devices can run a little home server for either your kids, your friends. I like to play Minecraft still, so even anybody really. I mean, seems the animals are not moving though, but that has to do with the load issue. So everything's come back now. As you can see, there was a delay, and it's the same. So when you rotate back, oh. I've had that before where the grass breaks or doesn't break on those weird loads and you get stuck like this. It thinks there's a block in front of you. But again, if you're... That's really annoying. Instant grass. Okay. If you're running on foot, you're not going to see that issue. There they go. Okay, so they're not frozen. But yeah, that's my comparison between the two. Hopefully this video didn't take too long. Sorry about that. But if you're in the market to run something like this, or not even just Minecraft, like I said before, you can run other programs. Either of these two devices, whether it be the Raspberry Pi or the Odroid, fantastic devices. Odroid, a little sketchy with their warranty, but mine's been good. But I'm only one person. So If you're a die-hard Raspberry Pi fan, you'll definitely go with the Raspberry Pi. If you're looking for a little more power, but pay a little bit more, you're definitely going to be looking into the Odroid. It's the best I've found so far, and I have quite a few little devices. Performance, I have to say, is close to some other devices I own, but for the convenience of the cloud shell that they have and offer, and their modular chips, I have to agree with that. Price-wise, though, I definitely own a Raspberry Pi 3. I just have so many other little things. I never got around to really buying it. So, Kryptic Nexus, thank you for letting me use yours. Thank you for letting me make this. And we'll go ahead and stop both the servers real quick. And that's that. So, disconnected. And more to save on this side right now. So, if you guys like this and you have any comments, leave them down below. Any suggestions, any programs you maybe want me to compare them, that's fine. We also have a Raspberry Pi 1. We have a chip, if you're familiar with the new chips. I have a Qbox i4 Pro and a Hummingbird as well. So if you have anything, throw it out there. And if you like this, definitely leave a thumbs up and a like, and subscribe. I'm looking for more subscribers, and we're looking to make something. If you think the community server is a good idea, then definitely throw it out there. Comments about that stuff is going to be the best place to find help or information. Is going to be definitely through the website. Click join. It'll take you to the forums. Or you can go ahead and sign up on the sites if you're not part of the forums yet. Still work in progress. Just kind of throwing it together really fast just to have something more than anything. So I check this daily. Have anything, throw it on here. Again, like and subscribe if you like this. Thank you.